I've been sailing the high seas ever since I got the internet. A broke teenager in a country that couldn't care less about piracy. Even though I got a job, I continued pirating games for a while. But one day I stopped. I stopped pirating games and started buying it on Steam instead. Why did I do that? It certainly wasn't because I grew a conscience. I would go back in a heartbeat. It's not because of the convenience, as Gabe Newell quote says either. Pirated games are still way more convenient than owned games.
But what I can say for sure is that the cracked version of the game, well, I have tested it and there are profound improvements to the stock experience, and the money shot really is here. Same PC, same area, same scenario, horrendous frame times and a collapse to frame rate on the official version, and a gigantic improvement with the crack installed.
They run better and don't need 3 launchers to start a game. It's not security concerns either. I've been around long enough to know who you can trust and how to get safe game files, and even to check if something's malicious. So if it isn't these reasons that I quit piracy, what caused me to quit? This was one of the things that set me off of piracy, which is ironic since CDPR are champions of DRM-free games. There was no de novo to hold off piracy, no need to wait for it to be cracked. The game was ready to play for pirates the second it launched. Well, the launch was a buggy mess. It's well documented at this point.
Check this out.
But it wasn't that buggy for me. For some blessed reason, it ran well for me. I did not experience any major bugs, just minor ones here and there. I felt so lucky, and I was loving the game. Eventually, some more bugs started showing up. Enough bugs that I couldn't ignore it anymore. But not to fear, because CDPR was constantly patching the game. Almost every week there was a new patch, and this is where being a pirate started to bite me in the ass. Every time the game was patched, whether it be a 100 MB patch or a 10 GB patch, I would have to re-download the entire game, all 60 GB of it. There were individual patches I could download, but they would never work for me for some reason. I wonder why. And I did not have fast enough internet, so this was a very annoying process. Eventually though, I found some Russian site that hosted loose files, which let me download only the files that had changed. It was helpful, but it did leave me with a bad taste in my mouth. This was sort of my turn away from piracy. I didn't fully let go yet, but my days sailing the high seas were numbered after this. The second reason is that I had nothing to show for. For this story, I need to tell you how much I love the Assassin's Creed series of games. I really love them. I played every single one of them, and I've finished almost all of them. Although I love this series, because I played them all with a pirated copy, I have 0 achievements in these games. So what, you ask? Achievements aren't a big deal, and sure, they might not be. But just to show you why it is one of the reasons I stopped pirating games, I want you to first look at this map of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Look at all those map markers, all those points of interest on the map. I had spent hours upon hours finishing every single one of them. I finished everything this game had to offer. Then I uninstalled it, and eventually lost the save files when I reset the PC. So I have no proof of ever having done it. Well, I don't even have proof of ever playing this game. No playtime, no achievements, not even a screenshot. To be honest, I don't think you even need to do all this to get all the achievements. But if I had the game on Steam, I certainly would have all the achievements. It's the same with Syndicate. I've completed this game multiple times, but there is no proof of it. Is having proof a big deal? I don't think so. No one is impressed by me spending way too many hours in 2 of the worst Assassin's Creed games. But I wish I had something to show for it. Achievements aren't something everybody cares about. Most people just finish the game and leave it at that. Steam achievements are something people care even less about. Xbox achievements and PlayStation trophies are much more popular. But for PC gamers, it's the best we got. At least it's better than Epic achievements. Let's talk about Steam versus Epic for a moment. When the Epic Store launched, I was a huge supporter of it. Steam had a de facto monopoly on the games market in PC, and I don't like monopolies. Competition drives innovation, and I was happy to see Steam finally get some competition. Epic were handing out free games every week too. They still do, and I have over 100 games in my Epic library that I got for free. I was all for Epic Game Store succeeding. I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 on Epic. That same copy is the one I used on my first YouTube videos. Unfortunately, it's kind of the only reason I have Epic installed on my computer anymore. When Epic started out, it didn't have much features, especially compared to Steam. But Steam didn't have many features when it launched either, so I was hopeful. But now, after so many years after launch, Epic is still missing major features. As the years have gone by, it's become exceedingly apparent what Epic is. Corporate meat riders. I can't think of any other reason why a game store wouldn't have fucking reviews. The lower platform fees seemed like such a developer-friendly thing to do, until I realized it's not the developers that it serves, but corporate publishers. Developers get a salary, publishers get the profit. This is why Ubisoft left Steam and only released their games on Epic. Now they've realized how much of a big mistake it was and have come running back to Steam. 10% more revenue only works if 90% of the players are ready to switch. And when I have literally every single Assassin's Creed game on Steam, why would I bother buying one that isn't? And so I waited for it to come back to Steam. And 10 months later, it's on Steam at 50% off. Look at me, talking about spending money on games in a video about piracy. I don't want to suck off Steam too much, mind you. You don't own the games you buy on Steam. As they've been legally required to disclose, you only rent a license to the games. Buying it on the CDPR-owned GOG is a much better option. The only problem is that most games don't publish on GOG. But at least you will get to actually own the games you buy there. If Steam bans your account for any reason, all your games are gone forever. But to be honest, I don't really care. If I lose my games, I'll just go back to pirating. I'm never gonna stop playing games, I'll just stop paying for them. To show how far I've come, let me tell you about my latest dilemma. Recently, I got one of those clip-on controllers for my old Android phone. I was looking at what games I could play, and I noticed that a lot of the Final Fantasy games were on Android with controller support. So I pirated the very first Final Fantasy and got to playing. The portability was a game changer. I've never played any of the Final Fantasy games before, well, except 15, which I did not like. But I loved playing through Final Fantasy 1 so much that I decided to turn my old phone into an emulation machine. After finishing Final Fantasy 1, I uninstalled the game and downloaded all the other games in the series. But then I realized I was in the same situation as Odyssey. I played through the entire game, but I have no proof, no achievements in it either. I want to get all the achievements in all the Final Fantasy games now, but I also want to play it in a portable form factor. But now I don't want to start Final Fantasy 2 before I figure out this issue. Do I play on PC for the achievements, or do I play it on my phone for portability? I don't want to play it twice, unless there's some achievement for it, of course. I'm currently considering playing the game on my phone, stopping before I get an achievement, transferring my save to Steam, then playing it there till I get the achievement, then transferring back my save to the phone to continue. It's gotten so complicated. At this point, I'm legit considering buying a Steam Deck. Gaben, you son of a bitch, you caught me again. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. See you next time.